Previously on Inspiration Point.
For me, the thing that really gets my blood flowing is the moment you watch the light go out in someone's eyes. You always remember your first. His name was Jameson, Hugo Jameson. But you can't just walk up to a person and tell them that they're a slave. They'll just laugh you out of the room and go back to paying the bills and showing up for work on time every day. Disgusting. Hey, Doc, you speak sign language too, don't you?
You cannot seriously expect me to believe that you have my daughter somewhere. We just got a letter from her 2 days ago, and you've been in prison for months now.
Yeah, I asked a friend of mine to wait until after the trial to mail it.
What do you want?
I want to help set your daughter free, but she can't ask me to help her anymore since I took her hands. And that doesn't really work for me, so I need you to ask for her.
You tell me where she is this instant, or so help me, I'll...
Listen, Doc. If you end our relationship, I'll just have to have my friend stop caring for your daughter. If we get to talk, then maybe we can work something out. Hey, Doc. How's Trix?
Mr. Tumblety?
Doc, I think we can be on a first-name basis at this point, don't you?
Fine, Nemo. I want you to let my daughter go.
You mean set her free?
No. I need to speak with her.
Oh. Well, like I said before, she's not really up for long talks right now.
I can't do this.
What's that, Raph?
I can't sit here and pretend to have a normal conversation with you while you threaten my daughter.
Well, why'd you ask me back then?
I was hoping that you'd see how worried I am and end this madness.
It's not madness, Dr. Alexander. It's my work.
Be that as it may, if you will not tell me where Alexi is, then we have nothing more to discuss.
Sure we do, Doc. You said the other day that you wanted to get to the bottom of why I do these things.
Nemo, Sergeant Connor is waiting outside to take you back to your cell. Please just go.
But our hour isn't even up yet.
As I said, if I cannot convince you to release my daughter, then we have nothing more to discuss.
Are you sure? Think about it for just a minute before you answer. If you send me away and leave Alexi in my care, then she won't really have any other guardian but me.
And whomever you have on the outside looking after her. My only solace is that you are in prison, Mr. Tumblety. That will make it more difficult for you to finish, what did you call it, your work?
All right. I had really hoped this would go differently.
So did I.
Done already?
Yes, Mr. Tumblety and I are through. He will be assigned a new doctor tomorrow.
Ah, okay, thanks. Come on, Nemo, let's go.
You know, Pete, there's something I've never done.
What's that?
Help the child to know freedom.
Come on, Nemo, you know I don't like it when you talk like that.
I know, but children are already so free. I could save them before they ever have a chance to know what it's like to be a slave. That'd be really nice.
Sure.
I'm glad you agree. So listen, I was wondering if you could help me with something.
What's that?
My girlfriend promised to send me a box of cookies, and I'd really prefer that they weren't handled by a bunch of people before I got them.
Why do you think I can help with that?
I've heard that you sometimes get things through to some of the other guys. Pictures of the girls, unopened private letters, stuff like that.
So you'd like your cookies to be free of outside influences, as it were.
And I realize that you do this particular brand of work at great personal risk to yourself, so I'd be willing to make sure that you get to have some.
It's going to take more than a cookie, but that's a start.
So I should have my girlfriend put in a little extra for you?
Yeah, let's say 30 cookies, and then I'll make sure you get first dibs on your baked goods.
Okay, can you just put your phone on speaker and dial it for me?
Better make it 40 cookies if I have to help make the call, too.
Deal.
What's the number?
555-4775.
Hello?
Roland, hey, it's Nemo.
Yeah. What's up?
Tell Tanya to put $40 in with the cookies that she's going to drop off for me at the prison today. Can you do that?
$40 and some cookies. Yeah, I can manage that.
Good. Tell her I'll pay her back when I can.
Don't worry about it.
Thanks. See you later. So she'll drop them off and so on, and you can bring them to me, right?
As long as my cookies are in there, too. Otherwise, I'm eating them.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who can stomach them, but if that's what it comes down to, you have my permission.
If they're so terrible, then why do you even care if you get them?
I just miss home and my work is all. It really helps me.
Whatever. Nemo, here's your package. Thanks for the business. Let me know if you need anything else.
I'm sure I will. Thanks, Pete. Did you try one?
No, you said they were bad, and they didn't look very appetizing. Besides, I already got what I wanted.
Fair enough. See you around.
Mr. Tumblety, thank you for coming.
You said it was urgent. I hear you decided to keep my case.
I received your message. Please tell me it isn't hers.
Dear Dr. Alexander, I wanted you to look me in the eye when we talk, but since you've decided to end our talks, I made sure that you had an eye, one that you're sure to remember, to look into. Please let me know if there are any other parts that you want to keep. Sincerely, Nemo Tumblety. P.S. I'd suggest putting that in some formaldehyde or something. Pretty sure it'll start to smell soon, but you've probably got a little more time since it was plucked fresh this morning. Yours, N. I'm pretty sure that spells out quite plainly whose eye it is, Doc, don't you?
Nemo, there's got to be something that you want. Something that I can give you to make you stop doing this. I just want my little girl back.
Look, you're a nice guy, but you're in the same boat as she is. The only trouble here is that I met her first, and I'm not really in a position to help you like I am her. There's really nothing to be done but let me set her free.
Everyone has their price. Name yours and I'll pay it. I'll do anything.
Doc, I just sent you the note to show you that there are no hard feelings. I know how sentimental people can be, so I wanted you to have something to remember her by, so that when you look at it, you'll know that she isn't trapped anymore. You don't like it?
No.
Gee, I'm sorry. You want me to get rid of it for you?
Nemo, I believe I have to try to help you for her sake. So, let's talk. That's what you want, right? And if you can convince me that setting Alexei free is the right choice, then I'll give you my permission.
Really? You mean it?
But you must be honest with me. If you hold anything back, I will not be able to say yes, and you'll have to give her back to me.
I don't know about that last part.
But you said yourself that you needed her to ask, and since she couldn't, you needed me to do it for her.
I guess I did say that. Okay, Doc, let's talk. I'm sure you'll come around eventually.
Okay. Why don't we return to where we left off? You told me what got you started. Now, tell me what makes you continue to do these things.
To do that, I'll have to tell you about Harriet Tubbs.
Another person whom you helped to find freedom?
That is what we're here to talk about, isn't it?
Yes, fine. Go on.
Harriet was a nice old broad. She lived a long, long time, and she had some pretty debilitating pain.
Where did you meet her?
Where else? Inspiration Point. It's where I met all of my friends.
I see. So she was another unfortunate victim of your need to help people?
No, neither Harriet nor any of the others, for that matter, were victims.
No, of course not.
Sarcasm is so unbecoming, Doc, but I'll let it slide since you're a little stressed out. I'll try to see it from your point of view for just a minute.
How's that?
Well, let's say that all of the people who I know that I helped were really victims.
I think we've been saying that.
But hear me out. I'm pretending for just a moment that I agree with you.
What's your point?
If the people who I was helping were victims, then Harriet is the least victimized of all. She actually asked me to help her the very first time we met. I was sitting in the bar nursing a cold beer and watching the people go through their routines when the old girl sat down at my table.
Hey there, hot stuff. You look pretty lonely all by yourself over here.
I'm fine, but I think you might have had a little too much to drink.
You know what? I think you might be right. But you could probably forgive me for a little bit of indulgence.
You should know that you're a slave to booze, but I guess there are worse things.
It's the only way I can get away from this arthritis for a little while.
But it's still there.
Oh, I know that. But for right now, it's the least of my worries.
So you're giving up one prison for another. You can't ever just be yourself. That must be pretty rough.
Well, not a lot I can do about that, though. That Kevorkian guy up and died just before I got an appointment with him.
The suicide doctor?
It probably wouldn't have worked anyway. It's so far, but it was nice to think about, you know?
I think that I do. So you'd actually want to be free from these burdens?
Well, if I could have done it myself, I would have already. But I can't squeeze the trigger. And I can't bring myself to take the pills. I might fail, and I couldn't bear that.
Well, I'm really glad you sat down. Looks like fate brought you to me.
What do you mean?
Here, let me get you a drink.
That's fine. I want to use the ladies. I hope you're still here when I get back. Not many guys will talk to an old goat like me.
I'll still be here. So, Harriet, how was the drink?
Where am I?
This is where I bring my most important guests. You asked me to bring you here last night.
Oh, honestly, you're much too young for me. I don't think I would have.
Ah, but you did. You were telling me about how you had arthritis and you used the liquor to keep it at bay, and I was telling you about how that meant you were always a prisoner, but only the warden had changed.
I remember a little, but that last drink was a doozy.
Sorry about that. I had to be sure that you'd come home with me.
You drugged me?
Just enough to convince you to stick to your guns, so to speak.
Well, I hope we had fun. I should be getting home now, though.
You don't have to go back to jail. I'm here to help make sure that your parole is permanent.
What do you mean?
You said that you wanted to visit Dr. Kevorkian, and you were sad that he died before he got the chance.
Well, I suppose I might have said that.
Well, I'm not a doctor, but I can still get the job done.
Yes, but I have responsibilities.
Just more shackles, Harriet. Let me help you. You don't have to feel pain anymore.
Oh, will it hurt?
Not if you don't want it to. All you have to do is ask me to set you free, and we can forgo all of the parts where I show you that it's what you really need.
Well then, I guess I'd like to be free.
Oh, Harriet, I'm so glad. Here, let me help you into the bed here. Good. Comfortable?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Harriet Tubbs, you are amazing to me. So few people know what they truly need and have the courage to pursue it. I've never been more proud.
Well, how are you going to do it?
Just like this. You know, Doc, Harriet really made me understand that people know they want freedom more than anything, and that I can help them achieve it.
What did you do to her?
Oh, that's right. There wouldn't be any reports. I took her skin.
Good heavens.
She stayed alive through the whole removal process. She was a really tough old gal. It helped that she was old, I guess, and the skin was already pretty loose. I have this friend who preserves bodies using a vacuum and some crazy process, and I asked him to help me with Harriet. While he preserved her, I made a leather from her skin. I actually donated several homemade footballs to a high school that didn't have enough money for new ones. Harriet would be so happy.
The police never found that body?
No, Harriet is still in my possession. I look in on her from time to time. We still talk about that night that we both met, and we laugh about it.
I think our time is up.
So it is. So, now that you know why I press on, are you ready to let me help your family?
I don't think I understand what you do, Nemo. I'm simply not convinced.
That's too bad. I guess I'll be seeing you again, then.
I thought we had a deal. I listen, and if I'm not convinced, then you let me have Alexi back.
Oh, Doc, you shouldn't make deals if you don't fully understand them. You're right, that's our deal, but you didn't include how long I would have to convince you. Don't worry, though. Since we're talking now, I'll ask my pal on the outside to be extra nice to Alexi until we speak again. See you next time. I'm ready to go now, Sergeant Connor.
Did you hear all of that?
Yeah, that guy's pretty sick.
And he has my daughter, Mr. Aberline. I need your help.
It'll take me a little bit, but I'll see what I can find on Harriet. It might give you some leverage.
Thank you, Fred. I don't know what I'd do without you.
You don't have to thank me. Just make sure I get my money.
Inspiration Point is a production of Strobe Studios, written by Michael Helgens and featuring the voices of Greg Kilberger, Michael Helgens, Steve Rampici, and Scott Stroessel, and the music of Kevin MacLeod.